Hello everybody. We are working on basting rows C and D for the Tumbling Cosmo block or quilt of the month or whatever quilt. I don't know. And so we already finished row A and B. I already stitched them together and everything. I do have videos on that you can check out. So the next step is to do C and D. I'm just doing it in 2-row steps because they fit in my storage containers a little bit easier that way. So yeah, I guess we'll just get started here. Move that out of the way. So first up on row C, so row C is going to be all our diamonds. So we're just going to pull, actually I'll just leave the stack over here, and we're going to pull the fabric that we need. And so basically I got the block of the month and I have all of these fabrics already pulled for me or cut for me, I should say. I just have to pull the right ones and cut them up. So I'll show you how I do one diamond, and then we'll go ahead and just do this in fast motion until we get to a different style block. There are a couple of specialty blocks in here, so we'll show you how to do those. And when we get to a stripe, I think I may have already cut all my stripes for these blocks, but because the stripes were a little complicated, I did try to show that in some of the previous videos too, but we'll show that again when I get to one. But okay, so this one I only need one, and there's only one actually in this whole section, so I'm just going to cut out one. Make life easy. I hand cut with scissors all of my blocks. I don't use the acrylic templates personally. I don't find that I need them, so they'll get hand cut. I try to do about a 3/8 inch seam allowance, but sometimes it's a little bigger, a little smaller. It's not a big deal. And I just rough cut this for now because I'm going to finish cutting once I get all of the pieces cut out for the 2 rows. So we'll go ahead and do that in fast motion. Just pull all our fabrics, glue them down, rough cut them, and then we'll show you the next steps. Okay, so the last diamond that I have to do on these 2 rows is a stripe, and I showed in a earlier video this template that I made for making sure you get the stripes correct. And basically the way this works is if it's a right side stripe, if the stripe is on the right side, then this side needs to be up, and if it's a left side stripe, this side needs to be up, so that you know which way to place your paper onto the stripe. And then this is the bottom of the stripe, so if the, for instance, I have the purple and teal here, so if the purple is supposed to be the wider piece on the bottom, then that would be where this would go. If it's the teal, then that's where it would go. So this is just my template. I'm not going to glue that one down, so I have it for future use, but I am going to use it to make sure I place this right. So this block is a right side stripe with the purple at the bottom. So we'll glue it down. So same way as this, and I can go all the way to the edge here. And further down I have the same thing, another one, so I'll do 2 at once just to get them both done. So you can see this would be the wrong way, because that's not the same as the template. So that's the side my glue is going to go on, and then, nope, did it wrong. See, this is why we have the template. So it needs to go this way. This way. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is why we created the template, to make sure it's going the right way. So glue that down, and then both of those will be correct stripes going horizontally for the right side. So I'll go ahead and cut those out. So row D has 2 specialty blocks. There is a page in the pattern that is just for the specialty blocks, so you'll want to use that to figure out which fabrics go with each one. These are going to be, we have a center hexie and then half hexies that go around, basically all the way around like that. And the half hexies are all going to be stripes. So we are going to do this color with the lighter, so the teal color is going to be the smaller part of the stripe. So when we place these down, I'm going to place it like that, so that the teal color is the smaller part of the stripe. And we need 6 of those, so we'll do that for all 6, and then do our centers after that. So we'll start with those stripes. Okay, so I have all of these laid out to preserve fabric. You can see how I place them kind of on going opposite ways, but always making sure that the small side is down on the teal, and this will help me preserve a little bit of fabric, so I'll get them all cut out. Okay, so for this darker fabric, it's going to be the purple stripe that is closer to the smaller side, so we'll go ahead and place those down and get them cut out as well. Next step is to get my hexie fabric on using a light box. I use that to try and center one of the hexies right in the middle of my block for a nice look there. And I will just get these cut out and they're ready to go for this block. Next step is glue basting all my pieces. I'm going to start with my diamonds. For this particular quilt, I am making sure that my tails are actually going in opposite directions. Normally I do them in the same direction. In order to achieve this, you start with the top right side and go around. I go counterclockwise. You can go clockwise. The biggest thing is to make sure you do the same direction for every single piece in this block. That will make sure that all your tails nest together. If you go counterclockwise on some and then clockwise on others, they will not nest together. So if you're having that problem, that could be the issue that you are creating. So I am just going to go ahead and baste all these. I'm going to clip them together in groups of 3 for the tumbling blocks and show you when I get to one of the special ones how I do those tails. So I just wanted to go over how we're going to baste the special block that has the hexagon center and then these little half hexies on the sides. So your hexagon, you just baste in a circle, start at one side and just, I always go counterclockwise on all of my stuff, but this doesn't have tails, so it's really not a big deal. On these half hexies, normally I will baste it where the tails, so you only have tails on the long end, where the tails will go the same direction, kind of like this, so they'll both point up. I usually actually have them point up instead of away, but you can also baste them so they both point away like that. I would say for this though, you're going to have an issue with running into the tails of the diamonds that are on the side of this block by doing that. So my suggestion and what I'm going to do is, again, baste in a counterclockwise fashion. So I will start on this right side, just like I do with my diamonds. Top side up, start on this right side, or long side up. Right side, long side, left side, and then bottom. And what that will create is one tail going out and then one tail going up. And by going counterclockwise, these tails should not interfere with any of the tails that are on the diamonds of the adjoining blocks. So I will go ahead and baste those and then put it together with the 2 side blocks just to confirm that that makes sense and show you what that looks like. All right, so we have this all set, and you can see that these tails just nest into each other, and you just have one tail on each corner that is up that will interfere with the next block. But hopefully, oops, this doesn't want to go in. That won't be an issue. We're gonna go ahead and put this together and then see where we're at with the neighboring blocks. So this one is D2, so we need D1. So this is the top. Oh no, oh, it goes on the, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, okay, because these go like this, okay. All right, so this tail is where the issue would be, right? How does this go together? All right, here's this block. I think I have this turned wrong, that's why. Okay, so there's that block. So like this. Okay, there we go. That's how that goes. So this tail right here is going to tuck into this block, so that's perfect. That tail does not want to stay under control. Okay, and then D3, top. So same thing, this is the tail that interferes, and this tucks right in. Yep, so no issues at all, so that's good. And then same thing at the top. This is gonna be, this isn't the piece that goes on the top, but that's the way it would be. So yep, so that's the way to do those, is to have them rotate and do counterclockwise, starting at the small end, then the long end, or the side, then the long end. And they will all nest together correctly. All right, so I have another one of these to baste, so I'll do that real quick, and then we'll show you all of the blocks together. So I have everything all done for rows C and D, and I just put one in each row together to kind of show how they look. I didn't want to unclip them all per se. I did have one issue. So I had an issue earlier on with my stripes, and I had cut up a bunch of them ahead of time, and they were wrong, so I had to redo some for this row. And this pink and green was one of the ones I had to redo, and I literally had this much fabric left to redo that one block, but that was the last I needed it in this section. So I went ahead and cut it out, and lo and behold, I accidentally cut it wrong. Even with my template, I wasn't paying attention, and so it's still wrong. If you look at it, when I put it together, my stripes are vertical instead of horizontal. So luckily, I think next month, which should be coming March 15th, I should get more of this fabric, so I'm not going to put this one together until I do that right, because I do want my stripes to be horizontal. I think it gives a good flow to the block. I know not everybody is caring about that, and that's totally fine if you don't care. Everybody does their quilt their way, but for me, I do want those stripes to be going the right way, so I am going to redo that one. Other than that, everything else came out really good. I did these stripes correctly, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I think I'm going to switch up how I've been cutting the fabric and organizing this quilt. The biggest thing with this quilt isn't so much how hard it is to put it together, but more how hard it is to keep everything organized and have the right fabrics in the right spot and everything like that. So I think I am going to change how I've been doing it. I've been doing it row by row, but I think I'm going to cut more fabric at once. So someone had suggested, because I got all this pre-cut fabric, and it's supposed to be for the top left section only, and then I'll get new fabrics for all the other sections. Someone had suggested that they actually used as much of this fabric for other parts as they could to kind of get it done ahead of time, and then also you're not cutting into future fabric, so you can keep them as whole pieces. So I think I'm going to do that and kind of mark off on, so you get the pattern here with all the list of fabrics. I'm going to mark off on each one as I cut them out, and then have separate, I have separate baggies. I have 6 of them, one for each section, and I'll just I'll label the back and then throw them in as I cut them out. So I'll show that in another video, but I know I kind of been doing it row by row, but I think that's going to take way too long, and it doesn't really make sense anyways for this quilt. It's just more about how you organize than doing it row by row like you would with most quilts. But regardless, we did get row C and row D done, so that's exciting. If you have any questions, as always, you can ask me in the comments below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I do only post videos sporadically. And so if you subscribe, then you'll get alerted by YouTube when I do post a new video. And hopefully these videos have been helpful. This quilt's taken me a little bit a while to kind of get seated into, but we'll figure it out together. So I'll definitely have lots more videos coming, but it probably won't be row by row. It'll be more of how I'm putting things together, I guess, if that makes sense. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye everyone.